Welcome to the DV Show.
Yeah, so my name is Justin McAleece. I started doing video production in college, which was a long time ago. I graduated in 2001 from Fresno State, and I've been filmmaker ever since. Yeah, so going on about 20 years now. I have a video production company called Blair Media. I co-own that here in Fresno, California. We have a few locations around the around the U.S. contiguous area here. It's got some gear in Phoenix, got another grip truck there, and a bunch of gear here. And that's what we do. So we do music videos, TV shows, commercials, corporate videos, a ton of corporate videos, a little bit of everything. And we stay busy. And then we do feature films sort of on the side and at the same time. And the latest ones are Brick Madness, which is going to go to pre-sales here in a couple short days. And then that is actually going to, national distribution, worldwide distribution in December. And then the feature film Better is a documentary that we made with 4 Harvard doctors and about 28 people suffering from diabetes and obesity. And so they are, we had some just profound interviews with them. Sweet. And we made that movie, and that's coming out in January.
You said Harvard. You said Harvard wrong, by the way. It's Harvard.
Harvard, sorry.
It's Harvard.
Harvard Yard. Yes, my apologies.
That's how we say it here in Massachusetts. That's how we know.
I've never even heard anyone say Massachusetts. They would just say Mass, Boston, Mass. Yeah,
Boston, Mass. You're gonna say Harvard. So did you get involved in this initiative at all? Are we talking about this thing? What happened?
In terms of which things specifically?
What happened in Oregon? Are we talking about that? No, we're not talking about that.
No, I don't. Oregon's goofy. Oregon's got a lot of stuff going on there that I don't vouch for. I do not claim that portion of the West Coast at this current time.
Oh boy, yeah,
it's great.
It's crazy times over there.
Yeah.
So Justin, tell me, so what's going on in this pandemic world? Has everything kind of changed for you? I mean, what are you doing to kind of stay in business?
Yeah. We are blessed. I mean, right now, currently, like I'm promoting these movies, and I'm doing this sort of internal work to do that and get on podcasts and making all these. What do you want to say? Just a lot of things to make buying and selling that movie a lot more. What do you want to say? A lot cooler for people out there. They're gonna want to buy it because of the other stuff I'm working on. So anyway. That wasn't said very well, but that has been great because we've been able to spend a little bit of time working on internal stuff. We have our overall work has definitely been down. We're sort of lean right now, which has been good. We don't have a ton of people. We didn't have a ton of people on the payroll right before the COVID hit. And so we were in a good position not to be able to have to lay off people and really have to worry about, causing a lot of stress in other people's lives. So we were already lean, which was good. And we do most of our stuff through freelance. So, sort of the entire industry is at the behest of this thing going around, right? They can't do anything about it. So we've been working the entire time pretty much. There was like a month there where no one did anything, but you wear your mask, you watch your hands, you keep everything sanitized, you keep the distance when you can, and in all those situations. And I don't know anyone who's gotten it, certainly not from being on set. And I haven't encountered any productions where there was a problem, and we've been good. So that's what's happened so far. Clients are not hiring quite the same way that they were, but it's happening. Stuff, you still need to promote things.
Yeah. So what's different though? I mean, let's go before the pandemic, and then all of a sudden the pandemic hit. What happened to you? What kind of like changed?
Well, I would say that February is one of our slowest times. Like January, February are super slow for video production, at least in our business. And so we just kept being slow. Like it just continued basically out. Nothing. We're like, oh, this is a really long quote the counting crows. This is a long December. Yeah, exactly. Really long December. We just kept doing that for a long time. So it hasn't been bad per se. We have a website called shoots.video, and that's a project we've been working on for a long time, and that enables video production professionals around the country to go onto our website, set up a profile and get reviews and all that stuff and get hired. So we've been working on that a ton. So that's been one thing that we hadn't had time to really donate to the rest of, the last few years as much as we would like to. This year we did a bunch of that. So basically we haven't, there's been no loss of things to do. We just have had less things that pay off immediately and more things that hopefully pay off in the long run. That's what's changed for us. That's awesome. We got our studio here. We can come in. Like the day-to-day for us hasn't changed much because I don't have 20 people here. There's like 3 or 4 of us, and a few of us live together anyway. So it's like that didn't really change much. So when you go on set once or twice a week, you're wearing a mask and you're taking the precautions. But and there's less people. It's less fun because there's less, the team atmosphere is different. But aside from that, it hasn't been awful for me.
So you've been lean and mean beforehand. So this really, you didn't have a lot of fat to cut when this happened. It just kind of first of all, I love your attitude about this because most video production professionals right now are like, oh my God, it slowed down. I don't know what to do. What happened to me? But you're like, hey, I was already lean and mean to begin with, man. I mean, it's just this, just happens to work that way.
Yeah.
which is awesome.
You keep enough irons in the fire, then you got stuff to do when you do have the time to do them. Also, yeah, if it would have hit like 2 years ago, then it would have been different for us personally. We just happen to have more people on the payroll then. And I don't want to be like, hey man, sorry, can't have you here. And also, I mean, the PPP loan helped for one of our employees, like that sort of thing helped too. Oh, yeah. Cool. So hopefully that all works out and we get back our money like we're supposed to and all that. But I think the government stepped in and did what they needed to for some industries, certainly helped us. And we've been okay. I don't know. It's like you come to your office and you keep working, you keep doing stuff and you hope that it's going to work out. And if push comes to shove, we're good friends with the landlord. We haven't had to postpone our rent, but we'll see.
Well, I love your attitude about the whole thing. I love it. You're just like nothing's changed for me. It's just all cool.
I appreciate that.
No worries. So what's this website that you're talking about? Shoots Video. I'm trying to visit it right now. Shoots dash
.video.
So .video.
The video is like the .com basically. So that we always need a way to find new talent, to hire new people. When we're shooting in a city that we haven't necessarily been to before, we need to be able to have a list of people to go to, right? So that happens quite often for us. And so we've over time established this platform to where we can find new people and get them hired. And this works really well for us. It shows up really well, search engine optimization wise, SEO wise, in a lot of places. And so it's really been able, to expand our reach and to find new great people. And hopefully they can go on there, they can get reviews. They can either review their friends or get reviews from people who know how they work and how they operate. And then it provides a lot better basis for us to go hire that person.
Wow.
That's what we've tried to do. And so other video production companies have been catching on too and seeing it and being like, oh, this is not proprietary. This is just essentially a really great database that's out there for anyone to go hire from. So it's working out. And I think it's really catching on. We do a weekly Zoomcast about that. So that's been really cool. And I would invite anyone who's watching this to come watch the Zoomcast. It's every Wednesday at 4 here in PST. So that's been pretty cool.
Cool. So what's that Zoom about? I'm on your website right now. I'm kind of fishing around, and this is kind of cool that we're kind of talking about this.
Yeah, thank you. It's I think it can help any video production professional. You go on there, you set up a profile. It's like done deal. With the Zoomcast we do every other week is like coffee chat sort of thing, just like 20, 30, 40 people. We break out into rooms and we talk about video or filmmaking, that sort of thing. That's been really good. The alternating weeks of that, we have a topic and we have 4 or 5 guests on and we have a host. Sometimes I host, sometimes we have another lady named Sarah host. And like last week, we talked all about drones. And so we had these bona fide badass drone operators on there that were like I've been running a drone for like 5
Yeah, they're a different breed. Those.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, so not similar to what I can do at all. I'm decent, but they're doing Dancing with the Stars, and they had this video of this insane move that they did, and they practiced it for 2 days and all this stuff. Like, they're big deal dudes. Anyway, so we talked to them, and that was great. And I was the host on that, and we just learned everything we could about what drone operating is these days, what the whole aerial industry is like, and so that was cool. And we've done, cinematography and producing and how to get hired by a video production company and just a whole bunch of them. We've done, I don't know, 10 or something.
That's
now.
Awesome. So you're competing with me basically, pretty much.
I don't know. You said you got 10,000 people. I don't think I think I'm competing with your scraps.
Well, this is like huge right now. I'm in Los Angeles, California right now on your website, and there's just like all of these people.
Yeah, we do quite a bit of work through LA. And this is not a new website. We've been working on it for a number of years. It's had different identities. But this is the version that's going to stick, which is great. We finally figured it out. But yeah, I mean, we encourage people to go on there. It doesn't cost anything. You can actually win money every month because we're giving away gift certificates for like basically just whoever participates the most. So, and it's I would say you have a fairly good chance of winning that if you put in some work. And it's not even work. It's just like promoting yourself. It's not like you're promoting anyone else really. So, yeah, that's what we're all about right now. And it's worked out really well.
Oh, I love this. I love it. So it's Crew Talk Webcast. It's every Wednesday, November 18th, I guess, at 4 p.m. Pacific.
Yep.
Love it. $50 prize giveaway. Wow, look at all. I gotta watch these later on. You have some pretty cool participants in here too. Wow, this is cool. It's like open up a whole new door for me right now.
It's cool. Yeah, we'd love to have you on. And I don't know what our topic would be. I mean, we haven't done one specifically about podcasting. That was something we were looking into. So that would be cool.
Yeah, I'd love to be on this.
We could figure that out. Yeah, there's any number of options, and we plan on. We're already. We bought a whiteboard. We're going to stick up in the conference room, and we're going to sketch out the next all of 2021. So I don't think we're going anywhere on that.
Oh yeah, I will be there this Wednesday, November 18th. I will be there. That's very cool. So yeah, I've been doing this podcast since like 2005, and I'm one of the very few. This is when like Oprah was like, "Wow, let's do podcasts. Let's do podcasts." And I was part of a crew. They used to have pod camps. I don't know if they still have pod camps anymore, but I used to go to like every one in every single state.
Wow.
And yeah, it was amazing. And I was really into it. And I was one of the very few, there was like 5 of them at the time who were just kind of escalating up. And I had like amazing downloads with this podcast. And I got to the level where I was able to monetize it, hire staff. I mean, all my full-time job was podcasts.
Really?
That's so neat. It's crazy. Not many people can do that because now it's so saturated and there's so many topics and so many people.
Yeah. I think it's how they say like buyer's market versus a seller's market. I think right now it's, if the podcast guest is a seller, then it is a seller's market because there is a lot of damn podcasts out there to get onto.
There's tons of them. I mean, it's the outlet right now where everyone goes to promote their stuff instead, and that's not how it used to be. That's not how it used to be. It used to be nice conversation. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but that's where it's been. And I still monetize. The podcast is still monetized. And I do, and teach people video production. And we talk about video production on a podcast. I mean, go figure, an audio podcast, which is video production.
Your eyes get tired, man. You get tired of watching that screen. Let's just hear about it. It's fun.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And video is so hard to do, right? I mean, you and I know this.
It takes much longer. There's a number of things we figured out while doing the Zoomcast, and that's what it's always been. And we're like, hey, let's get people in a room and let's all record them and all that. Like pre-COVID, and you're like, that's a nightmare. It's so much stuff to do. You got to do so much post, and there's like fixing, and then anytime on a creative endeavor, you open up the door to more possibilities.
Yeah.
So you have to get it right. And if you don't, you still had to get it as right as you could. So you are, it's over. You move on to the next one.
I mean, you guys are killing it. It seems.
Bill Riley, I was trying to think of.
You guys are killing it.
Yeah, thank you. We're putting in the time, and like I said, we pivoted, and it's been good for us right now. So
it's
we're
insane.
Happy. Yeah. Well, one thing I would say too, which has worked out really well for us, is our little trick that I figured out is everything goes to rev.com to get the transcripts. So we have transcripts for everything we've done so far, at least all of the hosted ones, all those hosted ones. And that goes right on our website. So we just got a whole ton of content. And so if they don't want to listen, they can read, or they don't want to watch, it's on, you can listen to it only, or you can watch it, or you can read it. All three ways are viable. And it's a way for us to create content that is good and hopefully worth listening to for some people.
And that makes Google happy too, right?
That is why we do it.
That's exactly right.
It's cheap. I mean, if you're talking 20 pennies a minute or whatever, it doesn't cost us much to make all that content. And it's not gobbledygook. It's real stuff from real people. Like I said, Dancing with the Stars people who are legit.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. And then they found out about you just by Google, or you guys just kind of promote this more? Or?
I think it was probably, they're obviously all
word of mouth.
What do you want to say? They're all helping each other. Yeah. And synergistic. So it's like you're trying to go find new people to be on the site. You're also trying to, when you find good people, then you're like, hey, we also have a podcast coming up. And then you're also trying to search specifically like, okay, we're going to do a podcast about aerial stuff. We need to go find good people. We need to get them on the site, and then we need to get them on the show, whichever order that happens to be in. But all those things interact well because we get hopefully more people on the platform, more people talking about, good stuff on the podcast itself, or the Zoomcast, as I call it. And so it all works out together.
It used to be called a Skype cast. Remember? I don't know if you
is that what
that
they were called. I'm gonna here's my admission today. This is me, Justin McAleece, 2020. I've literally never been able to work Skype correctly. Like it just won't work for me.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Because I only do it once a year or something. And so I get back on there and it's a new login and shit doesn't work and it's just terrible. And I quit and I hate Skype. Like literally ever. I don't think I've ever been able to make a correct.
Zoom is what Skype should have been. It's almost like Disney World was what Disneyland should have been. And so Zoom, it's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah. I don't even know, but anyway, it's
well, I'm going to promote this. I'm going to promote this like crazy. This is like something I wanted to do. And hey, why would I put the work into it when you guys are doing it? So I'm going to just like gear my audience towards this. This is amazing.
Oh, man. Can't wait. I love it. Yeah. That's one of those things is like, you want to try to find other people doing the exact same thing that you would do, but it would take twice as long, or you wouldn't want to do it. And, hopefully you build an empire together, because then everyone's got better knowledge and everyone can go out and make better stuff. Yeah. And then, it all works together. So
yeah, this is good stuff. I'm glad that we're talking about this because, the topic has been like for the past month and a half, and video production people and, in this industry, video people in the industry.
Yeah.
No matter what they do, drones, film, social media, where do I find work? What do I do? Well, it's time now to come all together and, help each other out during what's happening. I mean, it's got us all down, and Shoot.video is cool.
It's a good resource for that. I appreciate that. Yeah. And it's one of those things too. I don't know how much you are aware of this sort of paradigm, but like we have found that grips and gaffers and sort of people in those positions, they often they're not super computer savvy, or at least like grips a lot of times aren't. And maybe PAs aren't either. It's like those people don't have a good way to find work a lot of times besides just word of mouth, just in their own town. And anything outside of that, they have almost no reach whatsoever. And so this hopefully is a thing to where they have equal footing with everyone else. They can go on there. There's no paywall. They can just put up their thing, and someone says, I want to grip in Fresno. Your name can come up on the top. You don't have to be on like the film the film commission list that was last updated IMDb 12 years ago, or like a local producers, or a producer from Seattle is going to look up on IMDb and try to find you and cross-reference whether you live in Fresno. Like that's
a production hub or something.
Yeah, a production hub, and then you got to pay for it. And like for a grip, if you're trying to get a $10,000 shoot or something on production hub, maybe that's one thing, but a grip's not going to go through a paywall to get a $400 job. Like that probably doesn't make it to get the chance to maybe get so it's a silly paradigm we built up.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I don't know. We're trying to fix something. So that's our attempt.
Yeah. This is good stuff. This is good. So probably not going to be in the podcast, but what's going on in Oregon is that there's this, it's called weareopenforbusiness.com. And what they basically do is like something like you do, but people don't get paid. So
Okay.
they give their services out for free. Like, hey, this business is struggling. It's more like focused more towards local small business kind of thing, but it's like shooting out like crazy. So, and it's pretty impressive. And this is just as impressive. So they hook up people, they connect people who are storytellers, and they connect them with businesses who need their services. And it's just been
Okay.
unbelievably crazy. So you do something along those lines. You're getting everyone together. This is like a big giant networking umbrella that you have.
Yeah.
Under like a different kind of category though. And
Just
but
not
you're
trying to do anything for free. Yeah.
right.
I mean, because that doesn't benefit any of us. I don't,
No.
when you're starting out, sure, I'm not against it per se, but yeah. I mean, everyone's got to get paid. Just because you do something creative doesn't mean you shouldn't make money for it.
It's awesome
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, I'm sorry we're focusing on Shoot.video. I'm sorry we're doing that.
Whatever you want to
what
talk
we're
about,
meant
man. Whatever you want to talk about.
I mean, this is awesome.
What questions do you have? I mean, like, what do you guys normally talk about on your show?
We talk about anything video production. I mean, this is all the ins and outs of video production is what we talk about. I mean, Justin, I've had guests on here from, I don't know if you know Rankin Bass Productions. I don't know if you know that company.
Do I know Rankin Bass? I should go into my bathroom right now and I can show you the Hobbit poster on the wall. Yeah, I know Rankin Bass.
So,
I mean, as of 43 years ago, at least. But
yeah. So I've had them on the show.
Neat.
I've had stars on the show with 50th anniversaries from. I don't know if you Sea Hunt was a show back then that kind of started the underwater filming craze at the time, and they came on the show for the 50th. So we just talk about anything and anything that's related to video production. So
nice.
I'm pretty successful over the years. So it depends on what we talk
about. You've been doing it for a long time, man. I'll bet you're pretty good at
way
it.
Too
Obviously
long.
You are.
Lost my focus.
Yeah, and that's how it goes, right? You get into something, and then that becomes the thing you do, sort of de facto. And even if you don't necessarily intend to go that direction, that's how it works out.
Yeah, it's all about networking. It's all about just getting to know each other and just keeping yourself out there and doing what you need to do. So your films, let's go into your films and what you're doing. Is this about Legos at all? The brick thing that you were talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. It's about in our world they're called bricks, BRIX. So we don't have any Lego in our movie, our world. Sure, it's entirely about that. It's we go to a brick convention. So within our world, it's Brickathon, and it's this brick building competition, and it's the biggest one in the world, and it's like a much different scenario than is actually in real life these days. It's like it's a big deal to these people. It's actually like almost recognized as like a sport or something.
Oh yeah, it's competitive.
At least oh man, the stakes are high. So at least in their mind, this is like a huge deal. And so there's a couple characters that are just really into it, and they think that they are bona fide celebrities like any other. This guy Ricky Six thinks he's the Michael Jordan of bricks, and so.
He probably is, dude, right?
He within there he is, but he thinks he's the Michael Jordan of everything. So he's funny. So it's comedy, it's fun, it's a mockumentary. We have a camera crew walking around with them doing the stuff. I mean, it wasn't like we had two crews. I mean, the people walking around doing the thing are basically legitimately the crew as well. So that's how we set that up. Basically, a bunch of my friends and I spent a ton of time like writing this thing, figuring out how it's all going to work, getting together and putting it together. It took me 11 years. Took us 11 years. I say me because I was mainly the reason it took so long. But yeah, it's finally out. We started working on it in 2009. It is being distributed in, it's going to be available for pre-sales like this week. And it's actually available nationwide, worldwide, in December. So
you must be a happy man right now. This is like your baby's born all of a sudden.
I want to make sure the baby's got all its fingers and toes yet. I don't know that that's true. I want to make sure that some people buy it and it's not a total waste of 11 years. But I'm very optimistic. It's a good movie. I think it's fun. We did some premieres. We had some people watch it here locally a couple years ago and got excellent response. And so there's no politics in it either, but that's one good thing about this movie. No politics whatsoever.
That's good.
Right.
Well, you definitely didn't have a C-section because it took you this long to make it, and it's coming out the right way,
the newborn is 6 years old and be like, Mom, give me a beer. What are we doing down here?
All right. So your website, I mean, I'm focused on shoots.video, but for the sake of the podcast, I'll edit it up a little bit. Your website is your name basically .com.
Yes.
And we'll put that stuff in the show notes and drive some traffic to your site.
Yeah. Beautiful. And then there's brickmadness.com as well.
Yeah,
That's where you can actually go to the movie. We're tweaking that site up again a bit this week, but yeah, brickmadnessmovie.com.
Sweet.
You can go.
I would talk about equipment, but we only have 30 minutes. So maybe we can get into that another time.
You know what? I've been rocking a Red Epic for 6 years now with a Dragon sensor, and that's worked really well for us.
Yeah,
we still like it, and we got some Sony FS5s, and I could talk about all that stuff all day, but yeah, next time.
That's all you need.